Thinking about applying to the University of Iowa, but wondering, what GPA do I actually need to get in? Stick around because in this video, we'll break down everything you need to know about GPA requirements, admission standards, and tips to boost your chances of acceptance. If you're aiming for the University of Iowa, one of the key questions on your mind is likely about the GPA, your grade point average, and how it influences your chances of admission. GPA is a major factor universities look at when deciding whether to admit you, but it's not the only piece of the puzzle. Today, I'll give you a detailed look at the GPA expectations, the average, admitted student profile, how GPA interacts with other factors like test scores and extracurriculars, and what you can do to strengthen your application even if your GPA isn't perfect. What is GPA and why does it matter? First, let's define GPA. GPA stands for Grade Point Average, which is a numerical representation of your overall academic performance in high school. Most U.S. high schools use a 4.0 scale, where an A equals 4.0, B equals 3.0, and so on. Some schools use weighted GPAs that go above 4.0 if you take honors or advanced placement classes. Your GPA is important because it reflects your academic readiness and consistency. Colleges use it to predict how well you might perform in college-level courses. A strong GPA usually means you've mastered the material, managed your time well, and stayed committed to your studies. University of Iowa's average GPA for admission. So, what's the typical GPA for admitted students at the University of Iowa? According to recent data, the average unweighted GPA for admitted freshmen hovers around 3.5 to 3.7 on a 4.0 scale. This means most admitted students have grades mostly in the A to B+ range throughout high school. That said, the University of Iowa has a holistic admissions process, meaning they look at more than just your GPA. Students with GPAs slightly below the average may still be admitted based on strengths in other areas like leadership, extracurricular activities, essays, or high test scores. Weighted versus unweighted GPA at the University of Iowa. The University of Iowa considers both weighted and unweighted GPAs during admission. Weighted GPA reflects the difficulty of your coursework, so if you took APIB or honors classes, your weighted GPA might be higher than your unweighted GPA. This is good news if you challenged yourself with tougher courses, because it shows admissions officers you re-ready for college-level work. However, a high unweighted GPA with less challenging classes might be viewed differently than a slightly lower weighted GPA with rigorous courses. How GPA works with other admission factors. While GPA is crucial, it's not the only factor. The University of Iowa also considers standardized test scores. Though some schools have test-optional policies now, good scores can still enhance your application. Extracurricular activities, leadership, volunteering, and special talents help you stand out. Personal statement essays. This is your chance to tell your story and explain any inconsistencies in your record. Letters of recommendation, strong endorsements from teachers or counselors can support your application. Course rigor. Admissions officers want to see you've taken challenging courses that prepare you for college. If your GPA is slightly below average, excelling in these other areas can boost your chances significantly. Minimum GPA requirements. Unlike some universities, the University of Iowa does not publish a strict minimum GPA requirement for admission. However, realistically, most admitted students have at least a 3.0 GPA or higher. If your GPA falls below this, your application may be considered less competitive unless you compensate in other areas. GPA requirements by college and program. Some specific colleges or programs within the University of Iowa might have higher GPA expectations. For example, competitive programs like engineering, business, or nursing often require higher academic performance compared to general admission. If you're applying to a specialized program, check that program's admissions page for precise GPA or prerequisite course requirements. Tips to improve your GPA before applying. If your GPA isn't where you want it to be yet, here are some tips. 1. Focus on core classes. Prioritize improving grades in key subjects like math, science, and English. 2. Take challenging courses. If possible, enroll in honors or AP classes to raise your weighted GPA. 3. Get help early. Use tutoring or extra help from teachers if you're struggling. 4. Stay consistent. Admissions committees look for improvement over time. A strong finish in your senior year can make a difference. 5. Avoid withdrawing from classes. Too many W's on your transcript may raise questions. What if my GPA is lower than required? Don't panic if your GPA is below the average. The University of Iowa's holistic review means you can highlight your strengths elsewhere. You might also consider community college transfer. Start at a community college, earn good grades, then transfer to the University of Iowa. Alternative admission programs. Some universities offer conditional or probationary admission for students who show potential. Strong test scores, high SAT or CT scores can help offset a lower GPA. Extracurricular excellence, leadership, athletics, or artistic achievements can make your application stand out. Understanding how GPA is calculated at the University of Iowa. When the University of Iowa reviews your application, they recalculate your GPA based on their own criteria, looking primarily at core academic courses like English, math, science, social studies, and foreign languages. They want to see how well you did in the courses that best prepare you for college. If your school uses a different GPA scale or weighting system, the admissions office will standardize it to compare fairly across all applicants. Average GPA versus admission rate. How competitive is University of Iowa? The University of Iowa's acceptance rate is around 83%, which is moderately selective. This means they admit a large portion of applicants, but still maintain standards for academic performance. An average GPA of around 3.5 aligns with this rate. It shows that while many students with strong academic records get admitted, there's still some flexibility for students with other strengths. Final thoughts. How to boost your admission chances at University of Iowa. To sum up, aim for at least a 3.5 GPA to be comfortably within the average admitted student range. Take challenging courses to boost your weighted GPA. Strengthen other parts of your application like essays, extracurriculars, and test scores. If your GPA is lower, consider alternative pathways like community college transfer or emphasizing your unique strengths. Remember, GPA is just one part of your application. University of Iowa looks for well-rounded students who will thrive academically and contribute to campus life. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss tips on college admissions. Drop a comment below if you have questions about applying to University of Iowa or any other university. I'm here to help you get accepted.